There are many reasons that are given why he wrote Sefer Rud. Obviously, Sefer Rud is that which tells us the genealogy of David HaMelech and who is the one that anointed David. The one who anointed David was Shmuel. But there was something very sad about that day that Shmuel anointed David. Because Shmuel saw Shaul, the first king of Israel, as his great creation. And when God tells Shmuel that I'm going to tear the kingdom away from Shaul, it says, Vayit'abel Shmuel mourned all night. Here it was his first great accomplishment for Klal Yisrael. He is the one who has anointed Shaul to be king, and it fails. Shaul has the kingdom torn away from him. This is not only a failure of Shaul. Shmuel sees this as his own failure, and he's going to suffer pangs of remorse and regret his whole life, or whatever is left of his life after he anoints David. It's with great reluctance that he goes, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells him, take the oil of anointment and go to Beit Lechem, and you are going to anoint one of the children of Yishai to be king. It's with extreme difficulty that he does it. And really, he says, his response to God is, Eich Eleich, how can I go? V'shomar Shaul v'haraguni, and Shaul is going to hear that I've gone to anoint somebody else and he's going to kill me. It's a very fascinating pasuk that Shmuel says. It's a very fascinating request that he makes of God. We're really talking about the Rebbeinu is sending him. They think he's not going to take care of you. But more than that, I think that even God's response to Shmuel under those circumstances is even more fascinating. But what would you have imagined God's response to be? I would have thought that HaKadosh Baruch Hu would tell him, Shmuel, I'm going to be there. I'm going to take care of you. What are you worried about? But that's not God's response. God's response is, take a goat with you and tell them that you are coming in order to bring a sacrifice in Bethlehem. You understand? It's amazing. God gives him the cover story. God gives him the cover story. I'm not going to say that it's a lie, because it's turned into the truth. It's sort of stretching the truth a little bit, because he's not really going in order to bring the sacrifice in Bethlehem. He's going to anoint the next king of Israel. But I've always said that pasuk is extremely fascinating. I remember I had talked about that during the course of the first Gulf War. So there were the Chachomim then. You don't need gas masks. You don't need. I'm talking about Gulf War I. You don't need anything. All you have to have is bitachon. Just have bitachon. So I said, take a look at this story over here. Does the revelation tell Shmuel, just have bitachon? God himself says, yes, you're embarking upon something that can conceivably be dangerous. Take your gas mask in your hand, make sure that you have a cheder atum in Beit Lechem, and that way you can go. I mean, there's an extremely important lesson that is learned from the idea that God tells Shmuel, not it'll be all right. Have the token and it's okay. I'm going to be with you. Human being has to take steps to protect himself. When there is the possibility of danger, you have to take real steps in order to protect yourself. And therefore God is the one that gives him the cover and tells him, go ahead and take a goat, and you're going to go to Beit Lechem, and you're going to tell people that you came in order to bring the sacrifice to God. One can also understand Shmuel's reluctance when he says, Eich Eleich, how can he go? You can understand it in the existential sense. Rebbeinu Shalom, I was the one who anointed Shmuel. And now you want me to go and anoint somebody else, which is really the final indication that the first person who was ever anointed as a king of Israel has failed, and I see it as my own failure. Not only as a failure, there was a love. The fact is that there was a love between Shmuel and Shaul. It says that after he anointed him by Yishakehu, he kissed him. And the Sforno says in Chumash, when Moshe is on his way back to Mitzrayim in order to tell old Pharaoh, let my people go, and he meets Aaron, so it says that Aaron kissed Moshe. So the Sforno says, K'odom hanoshe sefer Torah, like a person who kisses a sefer Torah. You know, the kedusha of Moshe was such that Aaron kisses him. Shmuel saw the greatness of Shaul, and Shaul, of course, had greatness. Otherwise, he would not have been chosen to be the first king of Israel. And he kissed him, and he kissed him. And here, this great love has now been dissipated. It's all gone. He's not going to be the king of Israel anymore. Anyway, Shmuel comes to Bethlehem, and it may very well be because he's not really doing this because he wishes to do it. When the oldest son of Yishai is brought to Eliyahu, he says, Neged Hashem Yishicho, this is the one who is the anointed one of God. So God says, no. Lo Asher Yireh Ha'einayim, not what man sees with his eyes, because Hashem, God, sees into the heart of man. He's not the one. He goes through 7 sons of Yishai, and none of them, God rejects all of them. And then it turns out, isn't there another one here? Oh, yeah, we forgot, you know. There's a little one, the youngest is out with the Shepselah. So Shmuel gives the order, bring him to me. And of course, when he arrives, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells him, this is the one. He anoints him, but he never kisses him. He kisses Shaul, but he doesn't kiss David. In a sense, one may say that Shmuel feels that he didn't treat David the way he should have been treated. And in a sense, he therefore writes this sefer as a dedicated to David in order to show him the love that he has for him. There may be another reason as well. And follow me through this Gemara. Follow me through this Gemara. You see on this side where the Mishnah is, all we need is the first line in the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Amoni umo'ovi asurim v'yisudon isur olam avon kevotehem mutarot miyah. It's the Gemara in Yevamos. There's one sheet that is a Gemara in Yevamos, and it begins with a Mishnah that says that the males from Ammon and Moab are not permitted to enter the congregation of God. But the women of Ammon and Moab, Moaviyah and Ammoniyah, they are permitted into the congregation of God. Let's go to the Gemara. You see at the first of the white lines it says Gemara. I'm taking it through the Gemara. It may look formidable. It's not so formidable. The Gemara asks, how do we know that the prohibition against Ammoni Umoavi applies only to the males and not to the females? Amar Rabbi Yochanan, so Rabbi Yochanan says the Omakro because the Pasuk says the following. Let me give you the background to this Pasuk. There's been a Philistine by the name of Goliath who has for 40 days been announcing that he curses the people of God, and anybody who wants to can come out and do battle with him. Everybody's frightened and terrified. until one day this fellow David comes to visit his brothers who are in the army, and he hears the Philistine, and he decides that he's going to go out and fight him. So they bring him to Shaul, who is the king. Now Shaul knows who David is because David has already been playing the harp for Shaul for a while, and it says that Shaul is the one who loves David. And then it says, the pasuk says, "V'chirot Shaul et David yotzei l'krat ha-Plishtim." And Shaul saw David going out toward the Plishtim. Omer al Avner Sa'at Tzavah, he said to Avner, commander-in-chief of the armies, Ben Mizeh Hanar, whose son is this boy? Avner. Vayomer Avner, and Avner said, Chei nafshecha hamelach, I swear by your life, O king, in your dati, if I know who he is. What's more fascinating is, where did David begin his march out to the valley toward Galyad? From the tent of Shaul. Shaul had finally agreed to let him go out, and he put his uniform and his sword and his spear and his armor. He puts it all on him, and David tries to walk with it, and he can't do it. He takes it all off, and he says, I'm going out with my slingshot. And now as he goes out, Shaul turns to Avner and says, who's this boy? And Avner says, I swear, I don't know. So the Gemara asks, V'lo yadiyah? He didn't know who he is? What are you talking about? But it says earlier, he loved Shaul, loved David, he was one who carried his armor. Ella, also the Gemara explains, you know what Shaul is asking about? Shaul is asking about his father. Ben Mizeh Hanar, whose son is this lad? He's asking about the father. So the Gemara rejects that answer as well. He didn't know who the father of David was. But it says about Yishai, the man in the days of Shaul was an elder who wherever he went, there were crowds of people who went with him. Yishai was one of the outstanding personalities in Klal Yisrael. He doesn't know that this is David ben Yishai. What kind of a conversation? It's a mysterious conversation that's taking place here. Rav said, and some say it was Rabbi Abba who said, Zeh Yishai, the man who went out with many men around him, was Yishai, the father of David. He went out with many people, and he came in with many people. Great people don't go alone. They have. Today it's television crews with him, and guards and fellows with things sticking in their ears. You don't move any place without being surrounded by all sorts of people. So now we have a problem. So we're back to our original question. What does it mean when Shaul asks Avner, who is this boy? So the Gemara says, this is what Shaul said. I know he's David. I know he's David ben Yishai. What I want to know is, there were two children that Yehuda had. The twins that were born from Tamar, Peretz and Zarah. I want to know, is he from the family of Peretz, or is he from the family of Zarah? The difference is the following. If he's from the family of Peretz, then there's royal blood coursing through his veins. Then he is a candidate to be king. And therefore he may be ultimately the one who is going to take my place. Because Peretz means to breach and break through. The Gemara says, Melech Poretz lo derech. A king can break through and do whatever he wants. This is what Shaul said. I want to know about this boy. In Peretz Ossi, does he come from Peretz? In Zerach Ossi, or does he come from Zerach? In Peretz Ossi, if he comes from Peretz, Malkohovei, he's going to be a king. Sha'amelech Poretz Lasos lo derech, because a king can break through to make a road. He can expropriate. Nobody can stop him. In the Zorach also, if he comes from the family of Zorach, Chashivo Ba'al Mohavi, he's going to be a significant and important person, but not Malchus. He does not pose a threat to me. My time Amarle Sha'alale. Why does it occur to Shaul to tell Avner to ask about him? What is it that raises his curiosity? Why does he all of a sudden now want to know who he's come, what family he comes from? So the Gemara says the Chtiv, because it says, a few psukim earlier, it says that Shaul put his uniform on David and it fit him. Shaul was Mishichmo V'Amarlo Gavor Mikol Ha'am. Shaul was very tall. David, I don't know why I always have the picture in my mind, and I know why I have it, of a slightly built lad, because we always have the picture of our minds of big Goliath and little David with his slingshot. See, little David is always little, and Shaul was tall. So here, this slightly built lad is the one who is able to fit into the priestly, the kingly robes of Shaul. Because it says, Vayalei Shaul is David Malo. Shaul put on his madim, his uniform, on Shaul, on David. And putting it on means kimidato, it fit him. And it says about Shaul that he was Mishich Mevamalo to from his shoulder and above he was taller than everybody else. Now is the moment at which the conversation turns very, very bitter. Present there is Doeg Vadomi. Doeg Vadomi is one of the great warriors, the great knights of Shaul. The Gemara says also that Doeg Vadomi was a great Talmud Chacham, a member of the Sanhedrin. Amalei Doeg Vadomi said, while you're asking in Hogan Hula Malchut in love whether he is fit to be king or not, you know what I suggest you do? Find out if he's Jewish. Sha'al Olav, ask about him in Roy Lovo Bikol, if he is fit to come into the congregation of God in love. It's not a question of whether David can be king or not. Is he Jewish? Why? Because he comes from Rut HaMoaviyah. He comes from Rut HaMoaviyah. Because my time, why? Because he comes from Rut HaMoaviyah. Amalei Avner. So Avner says, Tanena, but we learned Ammoni v'lo Moavit. Ammonit, Moavi v'lo Moavit. The Torah says an Ammoni and a Moavi may not come into the congregation of God. Which means the male Ammoni v'lo Ammonit, Moavi v'lo Moavit. So the Gemara says, oh, wait a minute, it says a mamzer may not come into the congregation of God. Are you also going to say over there a male mamzer, but not a female mamzer? Mamzer v'lo mamzeret? Obviously, that's absolutely ridiculous. So the Gemara says, Ketiv Mumzar. Mamzer is not a generic term. It's not a noun. If it would be a noun, then it would be a male noun. Therefore, we could say Mamzer, but not Mamzer. It says Mamzer is a description. It's a Torah, it's an adjective. Mumzar. He has the blemish of being a stranger. That term, that description can apply to male and female because it's not a noun. So then the Gemara asks, what about mitzvah or mitzvahs? It says a mitzvah shall not come to the congregation of God. Are we going to say, but not a mitzvah? A female, there's no such halacha. So he said, the Gemara says, Shami Hachi. Here it's different. With regard to Ammoni and Moav, it's different. because the Torah clearly told us why Ammoni and Moavi are not permitted into the congregation of God. Shani Hachi, here it's different than the Meforish Tam of the Club, because the Pasuk gives us the reason. Why did we reject forever? Why did God reject forever Ammon and Moab becoming part of the Jewish people? Because it says, as you were going through the desert and you came near their country, they didn't go out toward you with bread and water. Ammon and Moab came from Lot. Lot owed his very existence to Avraham Avinu. Lot is captured by the 4 kings. Who goes out on that great midnight ride? It's Avraham Avinu who risks his life in order to save Lot and his family. Why was Lot saved from Sodom while everybody else was destroyed? B'schusei di Avraham, the schus of Avraham. Ammon and Moab lived because of the schus of Avraham Avinu. The least that they could have done for their cousins, who have been wandering now for 39 years in the desert. You don't have to come out with flowers, but they could have offered bread and water. And because of their ingratitude, they are rejected. So the Gemara is going to say, who is it that goes out toward a warring army? The males, not the females. That's not a woman's place to go out. Go out to meet a camp of warriors that are on their way elsewhere. So it says they were rejected because Allah shelo kidmu eschem balechem b'mayim darko shel ish lekadem v'lo darko shel isha lekadem. It's the way of a man to go out to meet a warring army. V'lo darko shel isha lekadem. So then the Gemara says, so the men should have gone out toward the men, and the women should have gone out toward the women. So Avner ben Ner remained silent before the intellectual onslaught of Doeg Adomi. This is the conversation that was taking place in the presence of Shaul. So then Shaul asks, the king said, ask whose son is this boy? So the Gemara says, earlier he was called Nar, and here he's called Elen. Why is he called Elen now? So he says, because the word Elen also means something that's hidden and concealed. There's a halacha here, nit alma halacha. There is a halacha that has been forgotten. Say usha'al the Bet HaMedrash. Shaul says, go ask in the Bet HaMedrash, what's the halacha of David? Shaul, after they went and he asked, Mamulei, so they told him, Ammoni v'lo Ammonit, Moavi v'lo Moavit. David, next page, and really on the next page, all we have to, line 4, Doeg Adomi still was not convinced. So Amos ben Yeter, one of the great heroes of the house of Shaul and then David, he said, Melamed shechog acharbo ki Yishmael, he put on a sword like a Yishmaeli, and he said, Kol mi she'eino shomea halacha zu, whoever does not hear this halacha, yidoker b'cherev, will be run through with the sword. Kach mekoblani beidino shel Shmuel haramati. This is what I have received as the halacha from the Bedin of Shmuel. Ammoni v'lo Ammonit, Moavi v'lo Moavit. That's all we need. What's taking place over here is that there was a halacha, and the halacha was given at Sinai. Most probably the halacha was not commonly known because there were not many instances, or for that matter, they may not have been most probably